producer, and actor, Cristo Fernández. ¿Dónde estás? And of course, our three hermanas who wrote and produced and starred in this film. We have Marta Mendez Cross, Novello Valeria Maldonado. Being hot was a prerequisite for being a film. Now, we have an amazing little party, a reception that we're going to go to afterwards, which is why we Latin people, we have an interesting relationship to time. So we are going to do this. We're going to do it right, and we're going to have a really beautiful, enriching conversation. Then we're all going to go have some tequila, all right? All right. So everyone just saw this beautiful, moving masterpiece, but I think it's important to know how much time and work went into the making of this film. So, can we please hear the origin story? How did this film come to be?
Okay. It started as a 2-page scene that turned into a short film that turned into a feature film. So I would say we followed our spark, really, truly. And if you follow your spark, you can't go wrong. And when our spark went out, somebody else picked up the light, and we just kept going after 9 years, and we'd get other angels to come on board, like Denise Prieto and Cristo Fernández and Yusef Delara and Gonzalo Ruiz de Velasco.
And our director, Matt Noble, who was absolutely fantastic, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So I heard you say 9 years. This masterpiece took 9 years.
9 years. 9 años.
Wow. Now, this film has very humble beginnings. In fact, such humble beginnings that somehow my tiny West Hollywood apartment played a role in the film. Maybe we can share a little bit. Also, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Miriam, journalist, storytelling coach, but most importantly, big fan of this crew. So,
And one of my dearest friends, and this is a full circle moment to have you here doing this, because she's one of the most supportive. It takes a supportive community, and we needed to do a table read for an executive. That the first yes we got, he said, let's listen to it. We didn't have a place. So she offered her West Hollywood apartment, and we sat on her beautiful white rug around a coffee table. The three of us and this executive sat there in a chair and listened. And it was our first table read. It was in your apartment.
How weird and cute is that? So you also worked with an amazing director, Mar Novo, who has so many strengths under her belt. And she directed this beautiful film. How did she become attached to this movie?
So Mar Noble was one of our miracles. We had many miracles, Cristo being one of them, who's sitting right there. But Mar came in 4 weeks before we shot this film. We had lost our director, but we had finally gotten funding after 6 years of looking for funding. So we couldn't let that go. And Matt just jumps in as the warrior that she is with this absolutely just incredible vision for the film. To be honest, I thought it was going to look like a commercial film, it's going to be fine. And she just made it beautiful, and with locations that changed every single day. And she made it work, and she made it her own. And we are so thankful for her, because without her, none of this would exist. And she's not here today, but we are representing her, and she's very proud of this and very thankful that you guys can all be here.
We're sending her so much love. Now, I heard that her being part of the film is almost like kismet. In what way?
Well, she has 3 sisters, and she's the oldest. She's the oldest. There's 4 of them. Hold on. Wait, back up. Virginia, you take this one.
She has sisters.
Hold on.
She has sisters.
She has sisters. She has sisters. Did I say sisters? Hermanas.
Yeah. Speak it, Marta. Speak it in Spanish. And we refer to Cristo as a guardian angel and another miracle in this film. Of course, this wholesome film finds the most wholesome actor who played the most wholesome character in TV's most wholesome TV series. January has Cristo Fernández. Cristo. Bienvenido a Culver City. All right. Well, how did we find Cristo? Cristo?
Um,
¿Cómo te
yeah,
encontraste?
it was 2021. I was in the Film Festival of Guadalajara. I was walking there with my sister Paloma. We're developing our film company, Spectrum X Films.
Where's your sister?
There she is.
Behind every brother.
Gorgeous
Strong
model over there
sister.
filming us.
And suddenly I just hear 5 women screaming, yelling. Ah! And I was like, what the heck is happening?
But that's normal for you every day.
No. It was different. So I turned, it's Marta, Virginia, Valeria, Denise Prieto, Mar Novo. And no, we started to talk, and then they told me about sisters. And then, yeah, to make story short, I just love the script. I'm grateful they gave me the role because I auditioned. And after that, I told them what we are doing, or what we're trying to do, and produce and tell stories. And for me, it was something very important to start doing stuff in Mexico, because I am very Mexicano from Guadalajara. Even though my work has been known outside, but I am born and raised in Guadalajara, and I wanted to tell great stories, and Sister is a great story, and I can keep going with all these lovely messages our film has, but the one I really embrace is that it's a good reminder that the miracle is the journey itself. And when I just was reading that, and I was supposed to be a football soccer player, as you know. Things happen for a reason. Back then was the biggest tragedy personally, because that was my dream, and who would have thought that later on I will be here, and I'm here because of those lessons I learned from football, soccer, from sports. Then Ted Lasso happens, then things like that, and then it's a good reminder that there are always, everything happens for a reason, even the worst things, and I love that, and yeah, that's why I'm forever grateful with, and then I'm the only man surrounded by beautiful, talented women.
Tough job.
And yes, so yeah, and yeah, I'm just grateful. Thank you very much to everyone who came and watched our film, and yes, I'm very grateful to be here.
Well, they're very grateful to have you, and you are never in the room when people are talking about you behind your back. So I would like to shed a little light on what people say about you when you're not in the room. Marta, you were saying something really nice regarding him and a door. Do you remember?
I know. I'm gonna cry. So your journey, I mean, you've worked so hard to get where you're at, and it's he's shared some stories that I'm not gonna share here, but he's done a lot to get where he's at. And when he came onto our film, we were just thinking we got keen, but he went a step further and became our executive producer. And anytime we needed help with anything, he would show up and bring the best of the best in the business. Kip Kroger being one of them, our executive producer, who came on and helped from Ted Lasso, that mixed at our sound at Universal Studios and so many things. And one of the things I like saying about you is that when a door opens for you and you walk through, you don't keep walking. You stop and you stand there and you hold it open and you tell everybody else to, come on guys, let's go. I mean, you truly are a filmmaker. You're not just an actor. You love film, you love story. And I see so many great things coming for you, not just in front of the camera, but behind. Because you truly are a guardian angel walking around with light. You really are.
I think that's part of what we do, right? Yeah, making films is a teamwork, and it's. I learned that from the best, and I believe in that, and that's why Las Tres Sisters is a family, and yeah, I think, yeah, as you said, it's 9 years, you know. My biggest hero, Guillermo del Toro, told me 2 years ago something like, Pinocchio took him 15 years, and it's Guillermo del Toro. We are just us. So I think for you, and we get asked all the time, like, what does it take to do this and that? And like, it's hard work. It's discipline, it's passion, and that comes for me from my years of sports. And I know that if I do it every day, I'll get there. 9 years, 7 years, whatever. But when you do it with passion and you surround yourself of amazing people, yeah. So that's
We like to see good people win. And we know that not everyone in this industry are the good people that champion others, so it's so nice to see an entire cast and an entire crew that opens the door and leaves it open so that more good people can come through. And I want to revisit the origin story of this film. There was a specific reason why the three of you decided to create the film. What was going on? What was the big challenge in your careers that this became the answer to that pain point?
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
I was like, what a question.
Okay, question, I'll answer. The three of us, we came here, like many people, with a dream of being actors. And it's very challenging, obviously, and as a Latinas, even more so. The three of us have very different experiences of what is being a Latina in this industry. And we wanted to put that on the screen as well. That's why the three sisters have very different relationship with language and very different relationship with their town, with Mexico. But it was kind of taking your career into your own hands, We wanted to show what Mexico was. We wanted to showcase what Latinas were in more of a broad spectrum than what we have been shown. We wanted people to see themselves reflected and, oh, that's my experience as a Latina, Oh yeah, I don't speak English, but I still feel Latina. Am I a Latina? If I don't speak the language, what happens if I'm second generation, first generation? What happens if I leave the US and go back to Mexico, And we wanted to really show that we don't just come in one shade. We don't just come, obviously, look at me. That we come in many ranges from skin tone to language to where we come from. But we also wanted to showcase the beautiful of Mexico and Latino culture. We see so much of the other side. We see so much of the narcos, and I understand that is very entertaining. But we wanted to show the other side, and the other side is this: how beautiful our country is, how giving the people are. They're just so giving. Like even if even if they don't have anything, they will give you their shoes. They will invite you to their home and feed you. And we wanted to show that. It is so important to us that we represent our Latino countries like this too. And it's fine to have the other side, but this side is so, so very important to us. And so we're very proud that we get to showcase this in this way and that you guys get to see it. One really quick story is that we were in London showing it, and we had a woman, and there was no Latinos in that audience in London. And we had a woman come after, and she said, "Look what I just did." And she had just bought a ticket to Guadalajara. She was like, "I need to go. Like, where is this place?" And I was like, "You did what?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving in 2 months. Like, you need to tell me everything about this place." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, okay, las piedrotas here." I'm telling her, this is where you should eat. But that is the impact that film can have when you, around the world, when you really put it in this perspective. We want people to come to our country and see it from themselves, how beautiful it is. So yeah.
We wanted to, yes, they wanted to break the mold around what a Latino archetype looks like. They wanted to break the narrative around Latin culture.
Yes.
And I do want to address the elephant in the room. Latin people make up 20% of the US population. We are actually 24% of movie ticket sales, and yet we are less than 10% of the leading roles on television and in film. And these three women were sort of victim to that, because I remember 9 years ago when apparently my apartment was a role in this making. I remember that it would always come down to you and someone else to get cast in that career game-changing role, and then the other person kept getting it. And these three women, instead of leaving Los Angeles and moving on to something else, decided to write the film that would give their career meaning And look at us now, 9 years later. Before we go in, let me make sure, because the La Tromba is sponsoring our amazing reception. In just a few minutes, I would love to hear one more thing from each of you, empezando contigo. Not what is the takeaway that you would like the audience to walk away with from the film, but what do you think your character would want this beautiful audience to walk away with?
Specifically for my character, Kin. I think Kin appeared out of nowhere. Probably he was just randomly walking there with his plants, and then he saw these people who needed help, and without thinking, he just decided to help. And who would have thought that just a random encounter like that will have end up helping him in his life? Because then by helping them, he went to the Temazcal and then had to face those personal demons, and then he ended up helping himself. So I think helping others helps you.
Helping others helps you.
and yeah, I think
Being of
that.
service in a random
Yeah, being more empathetic with others, I think is the key, and yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm glad you mentioned the Temazcal scene. We don't have
Yeah.
time to explore, but man, that was
People need to go
powerful.
and do a Temazcal in Mexico.
I've done ayahuasca, and I feel like that was
Yeah.
But
But so
Yes,
Yeah,
there's
we
no
haven't talked
drugs
to-
involved, just so you guys know, what the Temazcal doesn't have drugs
Or
involved.
mezcal.
No, yes.
right.
It's sacred, and quickly we just have to make it very real, and we did even like the cleaning cast crew, because it's a miracle. We were allowed to do it there because you needed to do it like
So I heard that you used a real shaman
Yes.
who did a limpieza, a
Yes.
cleaning of every single crew member and everyone.
before even thinking of shooting.
That was how sacred the shoot was. It's incredible.
So yeah, do a Temazcal.
Yeah.
I have to say in the Temazcal, the mocha was real.
Yes.
So
We,
you
who
know.
else was wondering if that was
Oh, is it
CGI?
mocha or moco?
Mocha,
Oh, it's mocha, moco.
There you go.
Got it.
She's still learning.
We're still
My
working on it.
She's
Spanish
still
is
doing the character.
also
that's all.
real, just so you know. I would like to say, because it's the theme of the movie and it's where it all started, I think Maria would say, please forgive those that are hard to forgive in your life. Right now, we all need to have forgiveness for the way people are behaving. I won't say who. But just to forgive, because that was the gift for Maria by the end of the movie. We struggled with the ending, but we decided it would be more poignant to have her pass away in the end, but she got to have her miracle was a baby. But the miracle she really wanted was that her broken family would come back together and that her two sisters would have a good relationship. So forgiveness. So if there's anyone in your life that you need to forgive, think about them and see if there's something that you can do.
So your characters wish walked all the kilometers, and I don't know what that means in miles, was not for her healing, it was for the family to repair.
Yeah.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I don't know how to help you.
Yeah, okay, well, here we go. I think Sophia would say, I think that's a message to all of you. Go rock by yourself until you feel better.
It actually does. Look at the effect you're causing it.
I'll rock that with you outside of the party. No, I think she ran away from her family because she wants to avoid. She's an avoidant, so she avoided her sisters, she avoided her mother, she avoided what she did. And so confronting your life is very healing. So she would say, don't run away from what hurts you. Embrace it. And like the shaman say, the medicine is going through it. Ahí está la medicina. Going through it is the medicine. So
It's the medicine.
I think she would say that.
Are you all taking notes? There's so much wisdom on this stage right now. And last but not least,
It's hard to follow all that. That's a lot of wisdom and comedy and sensuality all in just one. I would say that Lucia would want people to take away the possibility of opening other doors that you don't expect to open. Lucia's very set in her ways. She knows exactly what she wants. Like she wants, like the guy needs to look like this, you know. And she's surprised by the world. Very much thanks to her sister, and that is very much the same as what happened to me with this process. This sister forced me to open a door of writing that I was like, I can't do it, and changed my life. And then this sister came and changed my life even more. And I think if you allow people to change you, you can expand into even more than you ever thought, and you can be of service to people in ways that you never thought. So I don't know if that's Lucia or it's me. It gets really muddy, but
We are all these characters, so.
I'm not Maria. Yo no soy Maria.
as someone who knows most of you on stage, I know the lines are actually very blurry between you and your characters. Thank you so much. Let's have another round of applause.
Thank you guys for coming out. You don't know how much it means after 9 years to have this, but now we're putting our film in your hands. Literally, you have a phone that you can grab right now. There is a QR code right here where you can share the trailer and you can share the link on Fandango for people to get tickets this weekend. If all of you do that and get like 10 people, you would maybe make us have 2 or 3 more weeks on box office.
Yes.
So this is in your hands. Help us
Yes.
get this movie out there, and thank you for supporting
Yes,
us.
the first weekend is the most important one. That's where yeah. So please, yes,
Also buy
please,
tickets
por favor,
again.
por favor, ayúdenos para ayudarnos todos. Teamwork.
Hagan como Cristo, open the door and make sure
Ándale.
you leave it open for more people
Sí.
to go through it.
Órale, sí. Gracias.
Thank you so much everyone for being a part of this journey and the success of this film. We have Tequila Tromba waiting for us outside because, like you said, rakata, so party and celebrate.
Gracias. Thank you very much.